Right, so before I move all these tender stroke tropical palms indoors, I'm gonna just quickly go through, have a look at the state of them, and go through just getting them ready to go indoors really. And we've got two piles here, so with this side we've got stuff that's going to go into the indoor grow tent, which I've done a video on a couple of days back, so if you haven't seen that, you'll see that in its empty state. And in the next video after this one, you'll see the grow tent indoors stuffed full of these palms. But yeah, so what we've got is all the tropical tender palms here, and I've got a couple over this side which won't be going in the grow tent, they'll be going indoors as house plants. So we'll quickly go through them. There's only a couple. Basically we've got the fishtail palm there, so that makes a good house plant. Can sort of tolerate room temperature and humidity and fairly low light levels. Similar situation with Dipsas lutescens, the golden cane palm. That is often sold as a house plant, makes a really good house plant, and over winter no problem. They don't do much growing, they just sort of just easy care really. And for the last one is going to be the Livistona rotundifolia. This one can be a little bit tricky. It's done a lot of growing actually this summer in the hothouse here. It's looking quite nice, but I have lost them over winter before, so this one will be keeping an eye on it. If it starts to decline, then I may well try and squeeze it into the indoor greenhouse. Right, so sort of, I say it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Before you bring any plants from outdoors indoors, what I've done is I've gone through them all, I've cut back any dead or dodgy looking foliage, give them a visual inspection, and I have found a couple of mealybugs on some of these, and you can see that with the little white dot there. So what I will do is before I bring them in is spray them, take them outside, give them a good spray down before I put them in situ, and then as and when I see any problems, then I'll use the insecticide spray just to keep that under control and hopefully kill them off. So I'm doing this sort of in a mad rush today, just due to the fact we're going to have some cool temperatures tonight, and no, that's not worth hanging on anymore. We've kept it going as long enough. We're sort of mid-October now. We've got a lovely day today, sort of nice and sunny, a little bit cool outside but warm in here. Anyway, so let's get to the point. So we've got some tender and tropical palms. Like I say, I've gone through them, sort of cut back any dead foliage. I've been quite brutal. Anything that's sort of starting to go over, I've cut right off, because I'm sort of limited for space in my grow tent indoors, and limited for light as well. So if we're using artificial light, so the more limbs you've got on your palms, the less light you're going to be getting down to the lower levels. So that's best to, not ideal, but in the situation I'm doing, it's best to cut off any sort of suspect foliage and just leave a good couple of growing fronds. Like I say, not ideal to be cutting fronds off any sort of, anything that's still got green on it will still feed the plant, but in this situation I've got no choice. So that's basically it. Yeah, give them a good spray down, visual inspection, get them indoors, squeeze them in where you can. Like I said, I've gone through the growing conditions I'm going to have inside the grow tent. The houseplant ones will be standard houseplant stuff. So let's just get down to what we've got and what we're hoping to cram in. So we've got quite a few sort of unusual palms here. See if I can say this without. So it's a Versifeltia splendita. So this is one that's really quite unusual with the black spines on the trunk and nice sort of complete leaves. We did have a bit of a problem with this leaf. I think there was some caterpillars in there which sort of caused some mechanical damage to the leaf, but that's sort of failed to open. But I'll leave that one on there because it's not going to be blocking any light to anything else. But we have got a new spear coming here which is looking pretty good. We've got the Bismarcky, which I grew from seed, so that's done quite well. Starting to push out some palmate fronds, and we've got a new spear coming there as well. It's really nice silvery blue, that one. So ignore this. This is just a Washingtonia robusta that's going to be staying in the hothouse. So it's just literally these palms here. So we've got a Cuban Royal, which is probably the tallest one. So this is going to be 6 foot. That is in a tall pot, but it's in a smaller pot inside that, so that's going to be a bit shorter than it actually is standing here. So that should be just underneath the grow lights. Second biggest, we've got the Foxtail. I've had this for a few years. That's grown quite well. It has been outside all summer, and I've just brought it in the last month in here, and we have got a spear going on that, so that'll open up over winter inside. Christmas palm, Edenidia morellii. So this is the one I just cut a lot of fronds off and just left 2 good ones. We've got the Liquorala grandis. So there's a pot with a cluster of 4 in there. So they can be quite tricky. They want sort of high humidity, like a lot of Liquoralas, but you know, not too fussy about light. They do well indoors if you've got high humidity and decent temperatures, but that'll be going in the grow tent as well. Right, so sort of the mid-sized we're going to squeeze in. So we've got this is the red Latania or red Latan palm. Really pretty palm. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, just the red edges to the leaves and the petioles themselves. Had that for a few years now from a very small plant. That's slow, but again, really quite pretty. And these do get quite big leaves once they get some size on them. We've got, this is a flamethrower. So Chamberonia macrocarpa, and this is actually a variation hooker eye. We've got a Areca catechu palm there, or betel nut palm. We've got been recovering this year. This is Bocario alfredii, so it's like the high plateau coconut. Really struggled over winter last year. Again, a lot of stuff did because I couldn't keep the humidity and heat up, but this year we should be on top of that. We have got some quite bad mealybugs on this one, so I'm going to give it a good thorough spray down, and we're going to keep pumping in the seaweed feed over the winter period on all these palms, because they do tend to struggle with the artificial lights and they do yellow out easy. We've got a Quanta Phoenix there, and we've got a smaller one which is I forget which type it is, could be Purpurea, but this is a standard king palm. We've got a lot of Dipsas, so I'm not going to go into all of them. Jurassic Park, Onlahensis. We've got some triangle palms there. That's Dipsas decarii. So a lot of Dipsas going in. Got some small Liquoralas. So again, these can be tricky, especially when they're small. So we've got a couple of Mapus there, which like the mottly leaf ones, it's sort of showing up. The mottled effect on the leaves there, but they're really pretty when they get bigger. We've got a golden Liquorala and something else there as well. Another one for pretty leaves is the Panangas. So I've got a couple of small different varieties of them. They sort of have speckly mottly leaves on them as well. I am going to do one sable. That's the Bermudiana. So that's going to be slightly more cold sensitive, I'd imagine, than most of the other sables I'm growing. So that is going to go in the grow tent, and we'll see what growth we get out of that. We've got Copernicia alba, some rare cycad which I thought I'd killed, and then it came up with a new leaf. I can't even remember the name on that because it's faded on the tag, unfortunately. We've got an Oranga there. We've got small bottle palm, and we've got the Joey palm here, which is a double germination from one seed. We've got you might think this looks a bit yellowy, it's supposed to. It is a golden Christmas palm, so they sort of come out golden green leaves. Yeah, like I said, I can't go through absolutely everything. This is one of my favourites, or will be when it gets a bit bigger. So this is the white elephant palm. You get really huge leaves on these, 3 meters across and pure white underneath. But apparently they make quite good house plants, but obviously slow growing, and you know, that may be a problem in the future when they get a bit big. So that's just a sort of cross section of palms that are going in, and hopefully I can squeeze them all in. We'll leave it there. Hopefully the next video you'll see will be these situated in the palm tent indoors with the light and heat and setup, and we'll keep you updated as and when we need to. Right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.